Hey, Earth Angels Divine. Welcome to Radiating Love. I'm Ronnie Lipstein, and I am blissed to be here with you today. Namaste in Lakesh Alakin. So today, we are going to be talking about something that I think a lot of people have been hearing a lot more of in the last, I would say, 5 to 8 years. And there's a few different with what are becoming cliches, which are a dangerous thing, cliches, because when something becomes a cliche, essentially what it means is that the meaning of the statement, the resonating, resounding statement of wisdom is potentially being lost to some degree. And that's why we're actually going to be talking about what we are today. So some of those cliches include go with the flow, paddle with the current, and follow your bliss. And the reason that these sayings, cliches to some extent, are popular is because generally speaking they are talking about someone manifesting their dreams, living a fulfilled life, being happy. And the response to that is go with the flow, float with the current or paddle with the current of the river, not against it, and follow your bliss. So the response, again, to manifesting our dreams is oftentimes one of these quotes. And so I'd like to actually get into the science and spirituality behind the authenticity to that statement, and then get into how we can actually do that. But before we do, I'm just going to light some sage. It's my go-to cleansing, healing, blissing herb, which I absolutely adore. So I'd like to share it with all of you in depths of gratitude and love's light. May we have a most wonderful journey together on today's show, and may your life be always filled with bliss. Okay, so today's show, I should put up our show subject title, is how to follow our bliss to manifest our dreams. So the science or spirituality, and I know it's strange to hear someone say both in the same sentence as being relative to one another or to have any kind of positive association, but the reality is that they do. And oftentimes science and spirituality are a lot more aligned than we may otherwise give credit to either for so being. The science or spirituality behind the paradigm, consciousness, thought that following our bliss will manifest our dreams is based upon a very simple dynamic, which is energy. And for those who are unfamiliar, everything that exists is energy. And energy does not die, cannot be created, it is. It is malleable, it can be transformed, ascended, transcended. It has a natural ebb and flow to it. It cannot be contained. So, wow, look at all that smoke coming. So much cleansing. So much blissing. It cannot be contained, so there's a natural ebb and a natural flow to energy. And coming back to the initial statement that everything is energy, everything has an energetic signature to it, including our thoughts, our feelings, and our overall state of being, our overall beingness itself, our heartbeat, the way that our organs are functioning. All of these things create waves or ripples in the universe, in the world around us, in the air that we're breathing. We are, every time we breathe, we are like the smoke that was just traversing across your screen from the sage. We are creating unseen smoke waves or ripples or energetic vibrations. And these are being met by other existing energy vibrations that are out in the world, in our space around us, and attracting and repulsing or pushing away energies that are out there. And the science around and spirituality around Follow Your Bliss is when you are sending forth a positive energy, you are welcoming in a positive energy. On a more day-to-day realistic basis that we can all, I'm sure, have experiences, personal experiences to attest to. When we are in a bad mood, the likelihood of us taking actions that are to our benefit are diminished in comparison to when we're in a good mood, when we're feeling positive about ourselves. We are more likely to be more motivated to take actions that are to our benefit. So, for example, you can imagine the person who is depressed. We often think of somebody who is lying in bed all day. Whereas the person who's blissed out, we can imagine them skipping aimlessly on the sidewalk or the streets or the parks, singing songs and feeling groovy. So the opportunities that exist for someone lying in their bed as opposed to out in the world obviously differ vastly from one another. So therefore, to bring us back to our cliche or our statement of wisdom, when we follow our bliss, which essentially comes down to allowing ourselves to participate in activities and to entertain thoughts that make us happy, that make us feel good, we wind up investing in positive things materializing in our lives as a result. Whereas with the opposite, if we are allowing ourselves to participate in activities and entertain thoughts that bring us down, then we are promoting and investing in an experience of life that is not blissful and one that is more destructive or detrimental to our fulfillment and happiness. All right, so I'm hoping that brief little explanation was received as intended and that you understand. And now what I'd like to do is get into following our bliss to manifest our dreams and the how-to. And one would think that it's pretty simple. And why are we having an entire show about this, Ronnie? And I completely understand, because it really is very simple, complex concept. Think good thoughts, feel good feelings, participate in activities that make you feel good and are things that you enjoy doing. But as I have also often been met, whether it is in casual conversations, or when I'm working with my angel partners or my clients in my practice as an holistic life coach and enlightenment guide light. I often hear, well, you're telling me that I should follow my bliss, but you know, my bliss is to climb Mount Everest, or my bliss is to travel around the world, or my bliss is to go shopping every day and, you know, get spa treatments, or my bliss is to open up a new business, or my bliss is to, and I don't have the resources available, I don't have the time available, I have people who are dependent on me, I have responsibilities, I have obligations, I don't have the time, I don't have the this, I don't have the that. How do you expect me to follow my bliss? And if I don't follow my bliss, then I'm not manifesting my dreams, then what's the point of it all? And might as well give up before we've even begun. And it's understandable, right? I mean, the reality of the situation is that we live in this world and we do have people who are dependent upon us. We do have responsibilities. We do have obligations. A lot of the things that our heart authentically, what we are drawn to, what we are attracted to, may require that we have certain things in place in order for us to be able to follow our bliss, to enjoy those things that it is that we're wanting to enjoy, so that we can set the stage of positivity and openness and welcoming to those things that we are wanting to experience in our lives, to manifest our dreams. So, from this standpoint, we never want to put ourselves into a position where we are opening ourselves to feelings of increased negativity. And so, for example, if somebody comes to me and they say, well, my dream is to climb Mount Everest, and following my bliss is doing the rock climbing and achieving this height, and the only way for me to do it is I need to take off, 6 months from work, and that's going to put me in the hole, and I won't be able to pay for anything, and all of a sudden bliss becomes stress and there is nothing happy about it. So we're not saying that you should give up everything that you have going on now and leave it all behind so that you can go and follow your bliss and manifest your dreams. Not that we're saying that that wouldn't happen, we're just not advising that you just go out and do that. Instead, because we want to maintain a level of peace and comfort, understanding that, and another common statement that we hear, you want to get out of your comfort zone. I prefer to say you want to expand your comfort zone. So we definitely want to do things that we haven't done before, what some would say are taking risks, but they don't have to be such grandiose risks that you're stepping out of your comfort zone becomes an experience of complete and utter discomfort and negativity. The discomfort, or getting out of your comfort zone, more appropriately expanding it, should be one more of excitement as opposed to anguish. So, and for those, by the way, who are in a position that they are psychologically, mentally, emotionally, physically, and materially prepared to jump in completely and put their entire being into something, the likelihood is that they will manifest it. It will materialize. And for these individuals, we send forth our greatest blessings. This is not the show for you. This is the show for those who are not ready to do that just yet. So, the question is, how, for those amongst us who are having a difficult time because that which is our bliss is in our minds so huge, what it is we're wanting seems so far away, our dreams that we are seeking to create seem so unrealistic or improbable? How do we use this very real scientific and spiritual and realistic information, knowledge, awareness to assist ourselves? Because again, the reality is, as we all know, when we're in a better place, physically, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, better things happen. Things are smoother, easier, and manifesting things, materializing things becomes a smoother, easier experience. So how, when we're seeing things to be so difficult and unrealistic, can we take advantage of this awareness to assist ourselves in our own lives, to uplift ourselves, to enlighten ourselves, and to assist our dreams into materialization? So, like with most big things in our lives, big projects, experiences, events, the best way to accomplish anything, and I'll bring it to the most easiest of examples, an essay, for example. If you're told you're in school and you have to write a 10-page essay, how do you begin? You're looking at a blank page. Where do we start? And generally speaking, you start with an outline. So what you're doing, essentially, is you're taking your essay and you're breaking it down into pieces, into bite-sized pieces. So that's what we can do with our bliss, with our dreams, to assist ourselves in, number one, allowing ourselves to follow our bliss, and number two, allowing our bliss to assist us in the inspirations and motivations that will undoubtedly result towards manifesting our dreams. So, for example, to go back to our mountain climber, if the mountain climber's bliss is climbing mountains and Mount Everest, but they don't have the resources currently or the time available right now, but this is an activity, this is a dream that is blissful to this individual, that is a dream come true for this individual, what can this individual do to assist themselves in reaching their dream? Bliss is a many varied and eclectic and wonderful experience, and none of us are singular in that which brings us bliss. We have many things that bring us bliss. So for the rock climber, for example, the mountain climber, excuse me, perhaps instead of rushing off to Mount Everest right away, they go to a local mountain climbing club where they can climb on the wall and begin preparing themselves for this journey that they are going to take, and taking forth that mindset of positivity towards their journey, whilst doing something, albeit on a much more minuscule level in comparison, towards their dream that brings them bliss. So again, we're taking a big thing and we are breaking it into a bite size. Now let's say the person doesn't have the time, resources, or availability to go to a local mountain climbing club where, you know, they have those walls that you can climb. There are exercises that one can do in their own home that will assist in getting them into shape for such an excursion. And this individual can therefore begin with these exercises at home. There's research that can be done into getting ready for such an excursion. There are massive amounts of information to be gathered towards this, and all within the realm of the bliss. Now, what if you are someone who none of those things is seemingly available to you, you're not resonating with them, and it's just not feeling right? So this brings me back to what I was saying just a moment ago, which is that we are not linear and singular in our experience of life, nor is that which brings us bliss. So, when you are in a position where what it is that your dream is and things that bring you bliss in relation thereto are seemingly out of reach for you, finding anything, even that which has nothing to do with your dream, but that brings you bliss, and allowing yourself to participate in that is still taking a positive step towards manifesting your dreams. Because to bring us back to the very beginning of the science and the spirituality and the reality, when we are in a place of bliss, we are open to more inspiration and motivation of positivity, of things that will benefit our lives. So even if our mountain climber, for example, enjoys classical music and decides, because it is convenient and easy for them, to allow themselves the luxury of listening to classical music every single day. And let's say that this individual listens to music at work, and they allow themselves to listen to the classical music at work every single day. This will undoubtedly uplift their spirits and therefore enhance their state of bliss, thus opening them to inspiration and motivation towards taking action that is positively affecting their lives as a whole, and ultimately assisting in the manifestation of their dreams. What if this individual does not have all day at work to listen to classical music? What if they're not allowed to listen to music at work at all? So what are they going to do? If you can't listen to music all day, and you're at work for most of the day, and you're quite busy getting ready beforehand and relaxing afterwards, even giving yourself 5 minutes of bliss a day is better than no minutes of bliss a day. So again, I don't know if you've noticed, but what I've been doing is we started with a big chunk, which was climbing Mount Everest, and we've been slowly but surely breaking it down into smaller and smaller pieces until we were at the very minuscule, which is 5 minutes of listening to classical music per day. Now this also works in the reverse. So if we have a goal that we are wanting to accomplish that is not participating in an activity, so the opposite. So for example, an addiction that we are wanting to break, such as smoking. If it's difficult for us to give up our morning cigarette, for example, and we are trying to quit, and let's say we're smoking 2 packs a day, and we want to get to none, do you expect that the person is going to go cold turkey, which some do, and blissings, some do it and are unbelievably successful and fabulousness. But for those of us who have a more difficult time, chunk it down, chunk it down, chunk it down. So if going from 2 packs to 1 pack is too much, then maybe going from 2 packs to 1.5. Now, if that is too much, see, we're going to chunk it right down, then just choosing 1 cigarette per day that you normally would smoke, one time that you are feeling the impetus to go and light the cigarette that you consciously choose not to, and follow your bliss, which is to not be smoking, and to take that action of not lighting that cigarette, and then take it even further beyond that, and do something even more fabulously blissful for you, because most people who are wanting to quit are doing so because they want to live a healthier lifestyle, to take that time where you would be smoking and do something like conscious breathing, meditation, listening to classical music, making a phone call to a friend, some stretching, or any other positively reinforcing healthy activity that is blissful to you, again sets the stage for increasing bliss. And of course, the same as with our mountain climber, as with our smoker, you would like to have the intention and hopefully the propensity, which should be inspired by the bliss that you're allowing yourself to experience, to increase upon that which you are doing. So, for example, the smoker hopefully will start to put down 2 cigarettes within a few days, and maybe a week or 2 later 3 cigarettes, and so on and so forth. And the mountain climber maybe begins with listening to some classical music, and they increase that, and then maybe they start doing exercises while they're listening to their music that are towards the rock climbing, and maybe they join a group online that is a rock climbing group, and so the intention is to expand, right? To unfold the lotus flower and the wonderful leaves of the flower, so that our bliss, the flower of our bliss, is expanding. And our lives, the ripple effect of the bliss, is touching upon all aspects of our lives, which of course, as we also know, wherever we're at, however we're being, has an effect on all those around us. And so not only does our being blissful open the doors to our own inspiration and motivations of positivity, but we have a positive effect on all around us. And of course it works in the reverse. When we're in a lousy mood and we are around other people, they're negatively affected by us. We are a social people. So, again, the intention is expansion. But you can't get to the expansion unless you begin. And so you must begin with however small of a chunk of your big picture you wind up getting to. However disconnected it may seem or be from the bigger picture, following our bliss at any level, whatever that bliss may be, has a positive effect on the rest of our lives and does assist us in manifesting whatever our goals, objectives, dreams, visions may be. So I have a comment here from my soul sister, who is currently halfway around the world in Israel. Aline, who is Artwave in our chat room, wrote, pretend that you are somewhere, for example, an airplane, that you cannot smoke. You have no choice but to not smoke. Just saying. Well, that is a way to assist in following our bliss. The same way, it's a way to assist you in getting started. The same way that if, for example, you want to begin an exercise program, one of your New Year's resolutions, one of your dreams is to get fit, have that body that you've been dreaming of, and feel good about yourself. And you know that starting an exercise program is a fabulous way to assist in that, but you're just not motivated and you're not inspired, and there's always a reason and an excuse, and oh my gosh, 20 minutes, half an hour, it's too much, it's too long. 1 minute. Just do something for 1 minute. Just start. So whatever you can use to assist yourself mentally, and Aline is suggesting for smokers to make pretend that you're in a position where you cannot have the cigarette, to give you the impetus to say, okay, I can deal without this for right now. If I was on a plane, I would not be able to smoke. So you use, in order to retrain the brain, realign the mind, with thoughts and feelings that are giving you permission, giving yourself permission, allowing yourself to participate in some activity that brings you bliss. Aline is saying, I've been doing the just do it thing. Yay! I'm blessed to hear that. I've been kind of doing it. In different things. Some things I've been doing fabulously, some things not so fabulously, which gives us, you know, inspiration for growth. Right? Where there's certain things that are easier accomplished than others, and those that are that we find more difficult are just bigger opportunities for our growth. So, as we prefer to see things here at Sanctuary Soul Sanctuary, Being Love TV, and Radiating Love. So, yes. So our bliss, anything that you can find in your day that brings you happiness, any way that you can gift yourself the moment of feeling good about just being. Whether it's dancing or singing or reading or relaxing or talking to family or friends, going out, listening to music, whatever stimulates you, whatever makes you feel good, to begin towards manifesting our dreams is to begin by allowing ourselves to experience what it is to feel like when our dreams are manifest, which is blissful, happy, grateful, honored, special, loved. So, what in your life makes you feel these things? There are many from which I'm sure that you can choose, because there are many things that make us feel happy. They do not have to be directly related to your dream. But feeling good, which is what you would feel when your dream is manifest, feeling accomplished, successful, satisfied, fulfilled, happy, that feeling has an energy vibration. Remember from the beginning of the show, energy. And that energy vibration creates greater opportunity for more of that feeling to be felt. And so that is where we want to be putting our focus. It's very simple. You don't have to choose the most difficult thing. You don't have to choose the thing that makes you the most uncomfortable. Start off with what is easy for you. Start with something small. Because when you start, it will expand. Because you will be enjoying it. You will want to continue to enjoy it. And naturally, without realizing it, your experience of bliss will exponentially expand, and you will be taking yourself closer and closer to the materialization of your dreams. Artwave has written here, gotta give ourselves a little kick to motivate self. It's not hard, simply just do. Some things seem hard, but really not so, because when you do, it's done. Yes, catch 22. Once you do it, it's done, but you got to do it. You have to begin. You do. So if you can keep in mind that 1 minute of exercise, if your goal is to have a certain type of body, to get healthy, to live a more healthy lifestyle, if mountain climbing is your thing, and 1 minute of doing mountain climbing research, 1 minute of choosing not to smoke that cigarette, 1 minute will make a difference towards you actualizing your dream. That in and of itself should be all of the kick to motivate yourself to begin. And if you are in a position where you are ready to give 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, if you are in a position to go bigger and grander, go for it. But for those who aren't, even a minute, anything is better than nothing. And it will build. It will build. It will build. And the more that you do, the easier it gets, the closer you become to that which it is that you are seeking to experience. Because you will be experiencing it, the bliss, in the choices that you make to allow yourself to have that blissful experience in your day-to-day life, even if it's for a minute. Even if it's for a minute. So how to follow our bliss, to manifest our dreams? Begin. Begin with anything that makes you feel good and allow yourself, begin to give yourself permission and to actually take the action to experience bliss in your life. Every day, do something, even if it's for 1 minute, and you will get there. All right, then, I'd like to say thank you all so very much for coming, for joining, for sharing, for being. And I look forward to seeing you all in a couple of weeks back here on Radiating Love with Ronnie Lipstein. In the interim, blessings supreme to each and every one of you, and to me too, that we may all be living our lives from a consciousness paradigm of unconditional love. Starting, of course, with love for self, exponentially expanding out to all. May that be the experience of life that we have, always in always. In Lakesh Alakin, namaste. Mwah. Blessedly be, everyone.